Just 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, so let me share now. Okay, so sorry for the delay, and I'm back. So good evening once again, everybody. So I'll be speaking on emerging technologies, or you call it evolving technologies. Mm. Hope I'm audible. Can see Ruth, can see Francisca, can see David, Ayomikun, Matthew, can see Tina. Okay.
Yes, you are, sir.
All right. So what are emerging technologies? Let's start from there. Today I think the word technology, it's very popular, and it's something that we use everywhere, and everybody knows what technology is. But then we have certain technologies that are emerging or evolving. So those are new technologies, making waves and shaping our realities. So these new technologies are coming in. They are giving new job opportunities. They are helping businesses to make more money. They are helping individuals to lead a better life, making people live their best lives, by virtue of getting to know these technologies. So By way of definition, emerging technologies are innovative and potentially disruptive technologies that are in early stages of development or adoption. What that speaks to is these are new technologies. They've not been around for too long, and even if they've been around for quite a bit, the adoption, that is the rate at which people use them, is not so much. So that means they are new, they are fairly new, and adoption is not as much. So these technologies have potential to significantly impact industries, economies, and societies. Um, you agree with me that technology itself, right from the days of the PC, in the late 70s to early 80s, people's life changed completely with the personal computer. Today we have much more. You have your mobile phones, and because of your mobile phones, we have a lot of innovations that have come. Now we have the days of Twitter, the days of social media, the days of a lot of interesting things happening because of technologies that have emerged and have gained grounds over time. So they are often characterized by high growth, and high uncertainties. And then the potential to create new markets is also there. And these technologies come and transform even existing markets or existing businesses, right? So some areas that I'd like to talk about for this presentation, I'll talk a bit about artificial intelligence and machine learning. I will speak about blockchain technology. I will talk briefly about cloud computing. And I'll also talk about edge computing, which is Internet of Things. I'll speak about a few others that come to mind before my time is spent on the call. So for a start, first and foremost, the reason what I tag this presentation is new technology shaping our realities. New technology shaping our realities, making our lives better. So it's important to understand these new technologies so that if you are planning to venture into one tech or the other, it's good to understand which ones are emerging, which ones have high prospects, which ones have capacity to transform your business, make your business, grow rapidly in a very short period of time. And as a tech person, which ones to learn, which ones to understand, such that in the next 10, 15 years, you are still very, 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 very valuable in the marketplace. So I'll start with artificial intelligence and machine learning. I know this is a very, very popular word. Very, they are buzzwords, as they call it in tech. These are buzz tech words. You hear AI everywhere. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody's talking about machine learning. Everybody's talking about blockchain technology, cloud computing, Azure, Google, AWS, IBM, and a lot of the rest. Edge computing, you hear things about Internet of Things. So what are these things? And how do they transform societies, transform markets, and transform lives? So that is the crux of this presentation of mine. So I'll start with artificial intelligence. What is AI? AI basically speaks to, in very simple terms, it is bringing intelligence into artificial things. Intelligence today resides in non-artificial systems, that's natural systems like human beings, like animals. That's where intelligence exists. But bringing that intelligence that exists in human beings and putting it in computers and devices, basically that is what artificial intelligence speaks about. And how does it work? What does it do for us? How do we learn it? How does it affect our lives? So first and foremost, AI is intelligence in an artificial thing. So today, if your camera is able to identify your face, it has some form of intelligence. If your phone is able to identify your voice, it has some form of intelligence in it. And things like that. Then it goes further to say, oh, if a system can actually identify your face and know that this is you, it has some form of intelligence in it. If a system is able to know what you like, and is able to suggest what you like to you, based on what you have given it, that is intelligence as well. So these are areas where AI comes in. So machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. And what's machine learning? Machine learning talks about the algorithms. Um, what are algorithms? Should I go that far? They are basically steps in solving a problem. What are the basic steps to solving a problem? Putting it together, you form an algorithm. So machine learning speaks to these different algorithms, that are used to make systems artificially intelligent. So today, sorry, I think I've lost some part of my slide. Sorry, just a moment.
All right, please can you make your screen full screen so everyone will be able to see it better?
Okay.
In terms of the presentation itself, yeah.
So just a moment. I think I misplaced some parts of my slide. I need to make sure that I have the complete presentation so that, I will not just be talking too much without showing you anything. Hmm. Okay. So let's do this like this. Okay, we can see the screen.
Can't see anything.
Okay. Can you see my screen better now? Hello, can you see it better? Is it clearer? Hello?
Yes, it's better.
Sorry, it's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'll just limit my discussion to these 4 sections because it's a lot. Sorry, I think I misplaced part of my slide. So my slide for artificial intelligence, for some reason, is just off my presentation. But I'll talk through it and hopefully, allow. So by the time we are asking questions, we can have better insight into most of these things. So today, artificial intelligence speaks to a lot of things. Under artificial intelligence, you have areas like computer vision. You have areas like generative adversarial networks, GANs, and GPTs. You have newer areas now of artificial intelligence, where you can have an AI make a complete video for you from beginning to end. And that's where you have GANs, that's generative adversarial networks. So those are new tools in AI that are able to do a lot of very, very fantastic and interesting things. You have GPTs. With GPTs today, you can do as much as programming with AI. So AI is at a point where, it's beginning to help programmers become more efficient. I'll not say replacing programmers, because AI is not replacing programmers anytime soon, but AI is helping programmers become more efficient, to become faster in delivering projects. So a project that should take you probably a week before, you can do it in a day now. A project that should last, even if you're a writer, normally a book that will probably take you like a year to write. With GPTs, you can write that book in 3 months, because you have research materials at your beck and call, properly curated messages or information at your fingertips. So those are some of the advantages of AI and some of those fields of artificial intelligence, and from artificial intelligence today, we have an area for businesses, from which you can derive business intelligence data, and use them for forecasting, forecasting profits, forecasting customer behavior. Companies like Google today, they use AI every day. You go to a site today, if you notice, you are browsing, and you see adverts scrolling down on your screen, and these adverts are things that you like. How did they get to that point? Basically, they have what's called sentiment analysis. It's another area of artificial intelligence. You can study that and do sentiment analysis, where based on the person's likes and their behavior online, you will know the kind of things they like. When you go to Facebook today, or Twitter, or Instagram, you notice that they give you a set of videos, and you notice that you like those videos. Why? Because they've studied your behavior over time, your browsing behavior, your search behavior, your scrolling behavior, and they found out certain videos, and they curate them for you. And you keep scrolling, and you keep seeing the things you like. These are sentiment analysis. They derived that set of videos from your sentiments, from your browsing behavior, and all that. So that is AI, and it is changing businesses. Today, if you want faster customer turnover in your business, you can apply some AI tools, on your website. You can use AI to do a lot of fantastic things. So one area of AI that personally I find fascinating is computer vision. That is giving your computer eyes. Today, a lot of things out there use computer vision. Self-driving cars today. Tesla recently moved a lot of their features, from most of their sensors to computer vision. So what they did basically is a lot of things your self-driving car does, the cars were doing it from computer vision. Before now, they were mostly doing it from the concept of Internet of Things, or edge computing. That is using sensors, using accelerometers, gyroscopes, compasses, digital compasses, gather information, GPS devices to gather data. Where's the car? Where's the car going to? What's by this side? They use radars, and all that to sense, the whole environment around the cars. But over time, they moved into using cameras. And with cameras, they got even better performance. And that area of AI is called computer vision. So with computer vision, the car basically sees like a human being. The car is able to know if somebody is close by, if somebody is far. The car is able to identify traffic lights and stop at different traffic lights. The car is able to know when to move and when not to move, red, yellow, green. The car is able to identify road signs, and know how to stop, before an upside box, knows traffic, zebra crossings and all that. So those are AI. A lot of interesting things happen in AI. And computer vision also has led to areas of, fighting crime and also generating revenue for government. Today, if you go Third Mainland Bridge and somewhere in Ikeja, they have this set of cameras they put in different places. These cameras are able to capture your plate numbers. They're able to extract your plate number, match it against a system, and are able to know if you've committed one crime or the other. Maybe your license plate is your particulars is expiring, your roadworthiness is expiring, and all that. So that is called optical character recognition. That's another application of machine learning. So you can see that all around us, you have a lot of wonderful applications of AI, and we interact with them every day. Some we know, some we don't know. So that is AI for you. So I'll briefly talk about cloud computing, and then I'll talk about edge computing. Then we go back to then I'll talk about blockchain, and I think I'll finalize on blockchain. So cloud computing. What is cloud? What is the cloud? And what has it done for us? Before now, if you have a website, and you want your website to be available to the whole world or to the internet, that's before the 2000s, late 2000s, when we started having hosting companies, and the early 2000s, when we started having hosting companies, putting websites on the cloud and all that. If you wanted to do that years ago, you need to buy servers in your office. You need to get an ISP, an internet service provider, to give you what we call a public IP address to connect you to the network. Then that your IP address is now what you share around, so that anybody that wants to access you will visit your IP address and will be able to reach you. And in reaching you, that means they are reaching you in your server, from the internet to connect to your server locally, because there were no resources online to help you do that. So what that does is that before any business can even have a website, they need to be rich. They need to be able to provide power supply, provide electricity, provide cooling systems, provide all that. A lot of money would go into doing that, setting up that server farm and having it run. Banks, businesses, before now, if you are very conversant with the banking system, all these banks had a lot of servers. In fact, there was a time when they had servers in branches, where the branches software run locally, and then they synchronize it to the head office servers. It was messy. What cloud computing has done is it has taken away that stress. It's saying, look, there's no need for you to have your servers in-house. Just pay somebody, and that person will provision a server for you online. You have your resources online, so you don't need any physical resources within your premises for you to run your business successfully. That is what cloud has brought to businesses. So it has revolutionized businesses. It has made IT infrastructure available, readily available to everybody. So today you can wake up today and you can have a website before the end of this evening, thanks to cloud computing. You can create a website now. Just before now, I saw you guys learning website design. So you can create a website now and have it available to everybody in the world in the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes. That's the power of cloud computing. And cloud computing has brought a lot of job opportunities, a lot of job opportunities. Because of cloud computing, now we have an area of IT called DevOps. And we have another area of IT called DevSecOps. That's Dev Security Operations. Development, security, and operations. DevOps is development, of course, and operations. So these are areas of cloud computing that you can delve into as an individual and make a living out of it. DevOps has helped to made it possible for programmers to just write code, just write your code. Everything from testing your code to building your code, to deploying your code, to load balancing your code, to securing your code, to managing, monitoring your application and all that. You don't have to bother about it anymore. So those are the impacts. That's what DevOps has done for us. And thanks to cloud computing, that has become possible. So today, a company like General Electric leverages Azure to monitor and maintain its vast array of industrial equipment globally. And then beside DevOps, you have what you call edge computing. As you have cloud computing, you have edge computing. Edge computing is bringing your data closer to you. And edge computing is almost the same thing as Internet of Things. I want to believe you've heard about Internet of Things before. Internet of Things is bring your data close to you so that your decision will become faster. So today, if you want to create a real-time system that probably monitors the temperature of a place, and is able to make decisions based on the temperature difference in a place, you cannot afford to go all the way to cloud computing. Edge computing will be your best option. Why? Because you have sensors. Those sensors will provide data, real life and real-time data, and your application can make real-time decisions based on those data. That is edge computing. Edge computing is used in autonomous driving cars. Tesla uses a lot of edge computing to process data. For instance, things like location data, things like gyroscope data, that's the balance, of your car. If the car is going downhill, uphill, all those things, it's edge computing that's used to acquire this data, and then the car makes decisions based on this data. So that is what edge computing speaks to, in a nutshell. These things I'm talking about, they are vast, they are very, very deep. So maybe when we start asking questions, probably I will just explain further. Okay, I was just looking at the charts. So what our cloud computing has helped businesses to run completely from the cloud, and for physical infrastructure and setups. It makes product design very fast. Product delivery becomes very, very fast and easy. Solutions delivery has become faster with DevOps. Teams and product management has become faster and better. That's what DevOps has done for us. And so let me quickly go to blockchain, before we take questions, because I want this to be more of an interaction, So that's why I summarize most of these things I'm talking about. Blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain is another emerging technology that a lot of people talk about loosely. But I tell you that what blockchain can do, it's a lot. It's vast, is a lot. Apart from the fact that blockchain brings security, blockchain reduces the need for centralization. And if you know what Web3 is all about, Web3 is all about decentralization of data, of security, such that the power to transact and even relate on the internet is not in your hands. So you can decide to lock access to your information. Today, all your data, all your information, your contact details, your browsing history, for instance, your phone, if you use an Android phone or use an Apple phone, you don't have secrets, as a matter of fact. Your data is as open as daylight to companies like Google, companies like Apple. So you don't have any security, you don't have any privacy whatsoever. And there are laws that makes it possible for them to go into your personal data and use your personal data to do things. And some of you've signed some license agreements that you don't even know of. Once you say, I accept, when you buy a new phone and they're asking you, oh, do you agree to this? Once you accept, you've accepted a lot of interesting things that you don't even know you've accepted. So That is why blockchain is here. So most times when you say blockchain, a lot of people just think about cryptocurrency. Okay, it's crypto, it's crypto. No, it's not just crypto. Blockchain itself is just a decentralized and distributed digital ledger. It's used to record transactions across many computers so that the record can not be altered. What this means is it makes whatever you put in there stay there the way you have put it in there. So it's not like your banking system where somebody can debit your account without even your approval. Somebody can just go into your banking server database somewhere and just write an SQL query and say debit this account and credit this account of the amount you've debited from this account. On the blockchain, you can't do that. If somebody wants to commit fraud in a bank today, it's very, very easy. Why? Because once they're in charge of that system, you are the one sitting on that information. You have access to write queries. You can do that. But on the blockchain, it's impossible. Why? Because it provides transparency. And there's what's called consensus mechanism on the blockchain. What that does is you have a lot of people that must take that your transaction and prove it that this transaction is legitimate before that entry is entered into the ledger. So it's not just one man sitting down somewhere and deciding. It's a host of nodes, a host of other computers within the blockchain network that agree and say, oh, yes, we have come to a consensus that this transaction is legitimate. So therefore, let's write it into the ledger as a valid transaction. So one thing blockchain gives us is decentralization. What this means is today, if our banks will move from a centralized system to a decentralized system, the best option for them will be to use the blockchain. What that says is an Access Bank, a GT Bank, a First Bank, they will all become nodes in the blockchain. The blockchain is a chain. That statement is two words: block and chain. A chain of blocks, And what are these blocks? These are transaction records. So they are chained together, and then they are now decentralized and distributed. That means that GT Bank has all the data in the industry. First Bank has all the data in the industry. Access Bank has all the data in the industry on their blockchain. What that says is, if you're an Access Bank customer and Access Bank is down, you can still transact. If you're a First Bank customer and First Bank is not reachable, because they are using a blockchain, you can still transact without stress. That's the power of blockchain today. So basically, that is what blockchain does for you. A very powerful system. It's something that if you have the time, it'd be nice for you to explore, to understand, and it will give you a lot of wonderful ideas. There are products that have not even been imagined yet that can be created on the blockchain. So that's why it's an emerging technology. That's why it's an evolving technology. Because even the Web3, talking about security of data and security of your web access, was built on a blockchain. So the examples of blockchains we have, you have the Bitcoin blockchain, you have the Ethereum blockchain, you have what you call Hyperledger, you have what you call multi-chain. There are several of them. So you can explore them. And then there are a lot of jobs. If you go online today, you see a lot of Web3 jobs where they say, oh, do you know how to write smart contracts? What are smart contracts? Smart contracts are block code that run on the blockchain. So it's a set of instructions that you have securely put on the blockchain that will help you make certain decisions, make certain things happen, So I think I'm talking too much. I'm talking a lot. Do you have questions? Do we have questions we want to ask about these 3 or 4 emerging technologies I have discussed? So there's a lot to learn. You can build your career wholly on blockchain and it'll be very great. You can build your career on cloud computing and that would be perfect. You can build your career on, on artificial intelligence, and that'll be enough. If I can even build a career only on Internet of Things and edge computing, and you'll be okay. You can form your company on any one of these emerging technology, and you'll be good. That's the beauty of, technology. So any questions? Any questions? Any questions? I see this is 5:37 already. I don't know when I was supposed to stop.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for that. I actually learned a lot. I don't know if I'm speaking for everyone here. It was quite a beautiful session. I actually learned about the blockchain and some other things about technology. I don't know if anyone have any question. If you have, please, you can drop that in the chat box. That will be responded to. So it was really a lovely session. Thank you so much. I would love to do this again with you, sir.
Hopefully I'll be better prepared and I have more information to show
Oh,
you. Yeah.
all right. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Okay, so we'll be calling on the next speaker too. Mr. Tomiwo Fakinlede. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that well. Yeah, so he's going to be speaking on the opportunities in digital payments too, right? Opportunities in software development and project management. Yeah, so he's continuously driven by the desire to develop outstanding, disruptive, and affordable products and services that positively impact the lives and standard of living of Africans everywhere. So he talks about tech, fintech, process automation, technology management, also the CTO of Seed5. So I'd love to welcome him. So, sir, if you're present, please, you can take the stage here and let's also prepare our questions and pay attention to this because we're going to learn a lot. All right, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, and hope the background is not misshapen my face.
Okay, the background is fine.
Okay.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. Oftentimes when there are presentations, it's done earlier in the day, so everybody's head is fresh and we're able to interact. So I'm looking for the controls to share my screen. Because I put together a very short slide. I think I've not used share. Share.
Yeah, it's at the bottom where you have your audio, video.
Okay, it's asking me to pick a page. Music, advanced. Okay, I'll just pick one page to share, and hopefully I'm able to. The question I have to speak to, please confirm that you can see my screen as you want to. Please confirm you can see my screen.
We can see your screen, sir.
All right, thank you. Again, thanks for having me. My name is Tomiwo Fakinlede. I know that my first name gives people issues. I'm currently the Chief Technology Officer of the dataset company, and one of our leading applications out there is called the Seed5. We have a couple of other applications, but that is the most pronounced, and it's so pronounced that even something that's the name of the company. I'll be speaking on why transition into tech. Firstly, in layman's terms, I'll just say because it's a good thing to do. Because I myself, even though I have the basic introduction to tech, I studied computer science from the University of Ilorin, and I followed up by studying systems engineering in the University of Lagos. But there are people that studied both that still didn't end up in tech. So why should anybody dare to go into tech? Because there are also people that didn't study either of those things that are also doing tech, and they are doing it well. And why to go into it is because uh, to have the approach of that, I am tooling up myself, I'm skilling up so that I can be able to be productive and be profitable while doing that. Is the what brought me into tech? How can I serve the community I'm a part of? How can I serve the whole world at large? And this came to me almost naturally, of course, with other people influences. I've been privileged to be influenced by a lot of people in my life that enabled my journey into tech. I will be speaking today to the benefits of going into tech, especially for non-techies. I mean, for people that are not originally doing stuff that are directly related to technology or software development. I'll be talking about the benefits, then I'll talk about the steps to go into it. In terms of benefits, there's a high demand for it. Uh, you know, it's as in demand these days as being an engineer or a doctor was when I was a child. I hope someone once finds that funny. In an African home, they want to either become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, which today, engineering means a whole lot of different things. Which can include software engineering and many other things that are related. So the demand is high because the world is moving fast. So many things need to be built that you can just plug in and be the one building those things rather than being the user. And new versions of iPhone gets released every year. New versions of almost every device gets released every year. And who are the people? Uh, for that fact, people are needed to build out those things year in, year out. And since it's a moving trend, you can just latch yourself to one of the uh, to one of the components of tech as a whole and find yourself thriving. Competitive salaries, it's highly rewarding. You do tech today, you find yourself in the right condition and you're well skilled. People will pay for your skill, and there's no cap to how high your salary can be. And the environment will always be competitive enough to increase your skill and also increase your income. Um, in terms of opportunities for remote work and flexible schedule, COVID-19 introduced us to another phase set of life that enabled us to have options or choose the option of working from a remote environment while still delivering value and doing work in these fields. You know, is one of those things that you can easily do from a remote location. A remote location can be as close as you staying in Lagos and working in Lagos but not going to the office, or as far as you staying in Lagos and also working with a company as far as China, as long as you are able to deliver the skill that you have and deliver value, you will always be in demand. Although I know that so many talks are going on these days about rethinking the work from home method, but none of it still defeats the fact that wherever you are, you can produce value as a software developer, a software engineer. I'm going to use those two things interchangeably, even though there's a slight difference in them. And if I have the chance, I'll speak to what the differences in those things are. Uh, Another benefit is that you are continuously innovating yourself and you are continuously learning to build. So, for example, if you pick up a project today, maybe it's a software that you are building for maybe a finance house, you'll find yourself, picking up maybe a tool that is now available for you to uh, do two things in one. For example, maybe you're picking up uh, a class or a library that does not exist as the last time you are building a similar application. But now that library enables you to both process data and export it. You continuously learn, and because it keeps your mind active, it gives you easier approach to solve problems. So you are continuously learning while you are continuously innovating. I used to say to my team that software development is not necessarily something that you already know. It's something that it opens you up, for continuously picking new things and building those new things in case they don't already exist. For example, we have people that are contributing to open source codes. Open source codes are, we have repositories like GitHub, where online repositories like GitHub, where people can build tools, build applications that other people can make use of without having to pay. But that is made possible because other people are building those things, and software development venturing into software development can make you be that person that's also building tools for other people to use. So you are continuously learning while you are innovating. And under software development, although it looks like a generic term, there are several specializations that can be within that. While you are doing software development, you could be a mobile application developer, you could be a web application developer, you could be a backend, you could be a data engineer, you could venture as far as cybersecurity, even data science, and even these days, there are things that we do, both in like it cuts across facets of life, as far as education, as far as health, as far as community. So, there are softwares now that are being built, to manage the political landscapes of our countries. It as long as we can engage and interact in the process, there's a very high chance that we also can build a software or do an engineering work in that space. I just want to confirm that I'm still being heard. If I can have a feedback, it would be nice.
Yeah, we can still, or we are hearing you. We can hear you.
All right. Thank you. Please also feel free to ask your questions. I won't say at any point, but at strategic points while I'm speaking.
Yeah. Can you make your screen full screen? The
Okay.
presentation.
Okay. I've moved past, this one. And next is in terms of how do you get from where you are into, software development and the opportunities that it presents. How do you go from where you are? I've said earlier that I've worked with people that maybe in their former life they were auditors, they were actors, they were teachers, they were lawyers. I think one of the first set of people that really challenged me far back as 2014 was another guy that was a medical doctor, and he decided that he's coming into Andela. And we met at the boot camp. He was a trained medical doctor, and since then I've seen people across different generations, old and young, transition into tech. I have people that are in tech today that are in their 70s, in their 60s, in their 50s, and as far as in their teens, and meaning 15, 16, 17-year-olds, they are already neck deep in technology. And the thing is, as long as you can produce value, there's no age limit. Your age does not determine how much you can earn. So that is really open. And how do you go from where you are? Maybe today you're a graphic designer. Maybe today you are a teacher or a student of some sort. I've worked with students before. I've hired students. I've worked on projects with students, people that are still in their university, but they picked it as a side hustle, and they are doing it at such a professional level that they get paid as much as someone like myself that have a master's degree around, these things that we're talking about. So what are the steps to take? I think the first one is to assess your current skills and interests, meaning that you want to look inward and look at what you are currently doing today, because the idea of learning is such that there are some foundational knowledge that you have that enable you to build or progress quickly. And what is it that you are doing today, as far as marketing, as far as anything that technology can be applied towards, software development can be applied also in the same direction. So what are the current skills and interests that you have? What are the current, what is it that you are doing? There's no limit to it. Even if you're a teacher, you can build edutech softwares. Even if you're a banker, you can build finance software. Things that are related that won't take you too far from where you are. But really, we entrench in you the idea of that software development is about tooling, is about equipping yourself to deliver value in certain direction outside of what is normally done, outside of what is regularly done. So you are able to skill up and deliver value without moving or straining too far from what you used to do. So I've talked about to identify the skills from your current job and determine which tech roles align with your interests and strengths. Some of us are more analytical, some of us are more emotional, some of us are more design prone to designing. Some of us are more prone to the back end stuff. For anywhere you find yourself, there's a tech role that meets your need. For example, if you are a more graphical person, there are UI UX design teams that you can join. You can take up UI UX. If you are more analytical, there are data analysis roles that you can stretch to achieve. If you are more hands-on, you want to just build something. There are more back-end roles. There are more core software development roles that you can aim to get into. Those are roles relating to maybe a back-end developer in an organization or a data engineer in an organization. Those roles are already there. And the thing about all of these things is that however you want to go, there are people on the internet. There's a compendium of information on the internet that you can always, look for to skill up. Or also there are, I dare to say, schools online, because education in itself, the landscape of education in itself is changing such that if you're able to latch yourself to any type, to it, you're able to grow as education is also changing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So the first thing is to assess your current skills and interest by identifying transferable skills and determine which tech roles align with your interest and strengths. The other thing is about your education and training. Some of us, we are already educated in something. We are already entrenched in something. For example, you are, maybe a lawyer, and you're already skilled in that direction. Why don't you get into tech to intensify your efforts so that you can be more productive while being a lawyer? Why don't you intensify your effort? Because while doing tech, you can be a product manager, you can be a designer, you can find yourself along in the galaxy of tech and find yourself included while delivering value. So your education, your initial trainings, all of those things, they have a way in which they make your journey unique as someone that is now in tech. So you are able to use, for example, if you are a medical doctor and you want to build something in terms of that, helps either patients or doctors, you have an edge that you can just ride on, to deliver value. And, there are resources online, or there are platforms online that, you can ride on. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, EDX, tons and tons of people have gone through these platforms, and today they have a very stable career doing tech. Another option is to attend bootcamp. I know that creating as an organization, occasionally, almost every quarter, they have something they do, to help people skill up. And you can attend boot camps. I myself was once in the Andela boot camp, just so that I can train my hands and learn more about the skills that are needed out there. That was an opportunity I will always be grateful for, because outside of self-learning, boot camps help you to focus your skills or focus your attention on the skills that you need to build that will be relevant for the market. Moving on, something else is to build a strong foundation. The same way mathematics open up the analytical thinking of a child, that same way some software development or programming languages help you to be hands-on, to be able to speak to the basic things that are happening while software development is going on. So it won't just be a case of that I know Node.js. It will be a case of I know JavaScript, because Node.js has a building block made of JavaScript. It won't be a case of, oh, I know Django. It will be a case of that you know Python that was used in building Django. Also, to understand the basics of computer science, of concepts like algorithms and data structure. What are algorithms? What are data structures? How the components in a computer, how you interact from your keyboard to the processor. That journey, you need to understand how it happens, so that when you are building from the, you are building from the standpoint of someone that knows what is happening. You know the choices you are making, so that you know how those choices eventually affect the system that you are building. Who are the people you are building for? Maybe they're Android users, maybe they're iPhone users. You eventually, because you understand how those systems work, you are able to build very well for those systems. I'm trying to move fast. I understand that my time also is not, our time is fasting. Lastly, gain knowledge of operating system, networking, and databases. If you know how Linux operating systems work, managing servers online won't be a problem. If you know how, because most servers today are based on Linux, even though some are based on, the Microsoft architecture, and also databases, how data is stored and retrieved. You need a strong knowledge and a foundation knowledge in that. Example of programming languages or structures for database management is MySQL or PostgreSQL, or so many of them out there. You need to know how, because data eventually will be the lifeblood of any application you build as a person. So you need to know how to manage data, especially if you find yourself in a team where you have to manage the data yourself. The next thing is, to specialize in a field. I've said earlier that software development cut across so many spheres of life, cybersecurity, web development, data science. In all of this, you have to find a skill, you have to find a place. For example, if I'm hiring, some people, they are happy to hire a full stack developer. But even me as a person, I usually don't look out for full stack developer. I look out for people that are well, knowledgeable. They have a depth knowledge of the things they are doing. So they are able to speak to the minutest of things when it comes to what they are doing. So if I have good hands that know, I have a vertical knowledge of what they are doing, then I can put together a team of people that have in-depth knowledge of what they are doing, even though they have an horizontal knowledge across board for the things they are working on. So when we have highly in-depth people, those people are able to deliver skills to the team that helps us move fast. And trust me, you want to be a software developer or a software engineer that is known to be skilled. That way, your value will always speak for itself, and you're not far from money. I'm saying money today because oftentimes I don't talk about these things from the aspect of money, maybe due to my own personal training, because I just want to deliver value first. If you are delivering value, money has no choice but to follow you. But in this case, having having a field in which you are so in depth and you're able to build a community around yourself, your name would be out there and people will be looking for you, or more like you will be easily found because you are focused, you have a focus of which people know you for. As I wrote here, focus on mastering the specific skills and tools required for your chosen field. For example, if you're a data analyst, you want to be skilled with Python, a programming language. You want to be skilled with Django, a framework based on that. You want to be skilled, with anything that has to do with, kernel management, because you want the programs you are building to be fast. So things like this matter. So you focus on mastering specific skills and tools required for your chosen field. And if you're a UI UX person, you know Figma, I hope this section is recorded, so if in case people want to, make reference to it. So you know the tools that is required for your specific field. Next, you gain practical knowledge, gain practical experience. You work on personal projects, you build up your portfolio. Earlier, I was speaking to open source projects. Open source projects are projects out there that people have built, and today other people are making use of that project. If we find out that you have your name on an open source project, that gives you an edge for hiring in within the space wherein we work, and also pursue internships and freelance opportunities. I know for a fact that an organization like Creating and some other organizations have internships that enables people to come in, learn, be part of the community, be valuable in the community, and from there you can always take off or decide to stay back and train other people. So, gain practical experience by pursuing internship or freelance opportunities. Freelance opportunities will mean that, you are not a full staff of that organization, or you are not by contract in a way committed to the person you are working for, but, you are able to produce value for a short period of time, you get paid and you move on. So entering into software development opens up this avenue for you. I'll move on. Networking and mentorship, which is the next thing I'll talk about. For example, in Lagos, we have, communities for React, we have communities for Laravel, we have communities, there's one we call Dev Center, that there are communities in Lagos, irrespective of where you find yourself. Maybe you're in the LAMP stack or in the main stack. LAMP is talking about people that are doing Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Main is people that are doing basically frameworks that are based on JavaScript. There are communities that support the things that you are doing, and you need to, look for those communities and join them so that you are aware of what is happening all around you, and you have a network of people that you can always reach out to help you skill up, or even for opportunities that are existing. If you're a good member of a community, when there's an opportunity, their Slack channel, one of those places, you always get notification, oh, apply for this job, apply for that job. And I dare to say that software development is such a thing that if you are actually good at it, if you are, you are in depth at it, you have no fear of the future, because there will always be opportunities for you. And one of the ways where you assess those opportunities is through, networking through conferences, or these meetups that happen. There are organizations that have their meetup quarterly, and at times the people that are backing these meetups are big organizations like Microsoft, like Apple, for developer communities. And in those communities, you can always find opportunities that you can latch on to take you up to the next level. And the next one is mentorship. I myself, I have been someone that have, gained a lot from being mentored by someone way ahead. There's this adage that will stand on the shoulder of giants to see the future. So mentorship also is a very reliable way of moving fast in this community. Lastly, I won't say lastly, let me just say, you stay up to date and continue to learn. There's no ending to learning. Even as a CTO, I'm still picking up new skills. I'm still learning to be able to deliver effectively and efficiently, even as a CTO. and I've been doing this by the grace of God for a bit over a decade. And there's always something to learn, because every day there are new programming skills that are being developed. Every day there are new frameworks that are being developed. Every day there are new operating systems. Don't be shocked that there are more to this world than Microsoft, Apple, or Linux. There are more to this world. And if you meet yourself in that environment, for example, Apple released Vision Pro in the last quarter. Vision Pro is the new landscape entirely for people to build in. So if you are skilled, you have an idea, or you are good with virtual reality, and you know the technologies that is used in building that, that's an opportunity already for you. You can start building application in that. And some people will ask, why will anybody want to build for Vision Pro? There are people that are showcasing stuff everywhere in the world. There are conferences that will be happening everywhere in the world. As we move towards the future, we won't have to physically be in a place to partake in the things that are happening. And we want to enrich the experience that people have. Think about these things. Don't you think that there's an opportunity waiting for you? If you start doing stuff in the direction of creating virtual reality. So opportunities are endless when it comes to technology, but you have to be involved. You have to be interested, open to learning, so that you can be equipped enough to deliver value while at it. So that really will be, all from my end. I hope you can still hear me, everyone. I'm happy to be here today to talk about all these things that I've spoken to. I've said myself that I'm a long-time learner myself, a learner, and I'm happy to have come to your platform and deliver value. Thanks for having me. I'll be happy to take any question, please.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat box. Yeah. So while we're waiting for questions, I would love to thank you so much for the beautiful speech. I also want to ask one or two questions. Yeah, so there are people that will be watching this, yeah? People that are new to this, non-technical people. So what advice would you give to someone that feels overwhelmed? The common challenges they will face when transitioning into tech, and how can they overcome this challenge? Yeah, and that's one. And two, there are people with
Can I
limited...
go for the first one so that I don't
All
forget?
right, sure. First,
So software development in itself is a journey, and it's like climbing a mountain. You find the first set of things that are easily accessible to you, and you ride on that. Yes, it can be overwhelming because some documentations can be as long as 1,000 pages. But the thing is, you don't have to know everything to start. But the idea is you must know where to start from. For example, there's something called Hello World in the programming space, which is for every programming language, there must be something that enables you be able to print this text, Hello World, on a screen. Is a starting point for anybody that wants to journey in tech. You have to figure out what are the first things to be able to do. For example, you want to be able to know how to do standard input. You want to be able to write to a computer. You want to be able to read from a computer. You want to be able to manipulate or update the things that have been written. You want to be able to delete the things that have been written. So it's called it's called read, write, update, delete. It's called CRUD. That's create, read, update, delete. Functionalities like that exist in almost any programming language. Once you're able to create, once you're able to read it, once you're able to update it, you're able to delete it, that's the place to start. And when you're able to do that, the next step, depending on the technology you have chosen, will already be in front of you. If you're able to master, the core things, how to create, how to read, how to update, how to delete, that will form the basics of your experience all along, because you will always be creating, reading, updating, deleting. So you will always be doing that in your journey as a software developer. So the idea is find the small things to work on, pick up small projects. And if you are overwhelmed, one of the ways to manage, being overwhelmed is to do other things. Take a break, learn some. I know it can be overwhelming because there's a lot of information that you are feeding to your mind, and the mind gets tired. So you have to find a way to cope by relating with other people that are doing it, so that your encouragement will not only come from you, but from other people that you are journeying together with. One of the things that you can do, I once had a group of friends that we picked up a PDF. The title of that PDF back then is Learn Python the Hard Way. All of us were reading it. So if you come across a roadblock, you can easily ask other people that are on that journey with you. So community helps you to push through when things get really hard. I hope I'm able to answer that correctly. If you're speaking, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you answered the question. Thank you so much. You've actually answered the next one too. So I really appreciate your presence today. I don't know if I think someone has a question here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. As a physiotherapist, a healthcare professional, do I transit to being a tech personnel and also incorporate it into my treatment sessions with my patients and also generate returns? So that's a question from someone here.
Okay. Yes, I rightly said earlier that where tech meets you is where you start your journey from. You're a physiotherapist. What is it that you know? For example, as a physiotherapist, an easy app to build is an app that reads the instruction to your patients, quote and unquote. Maybe that sets a reminder, or that sets a plan for them to follow, or that sets. So you already are good at what you are doing. So when you say, do I transit to being a tech personnel and also incorporate it into my treatment session? Yes, you can do that. In fact, that's a very good spot for you to start from. The moment you're able to do this, eventually, what are the things that are surrounding your processes as a physiotherapist? Your accounting, your human resource management, your office monitoring, attendance, all of those things, can start coming in as projects that you get to deliver while you are scaling up. Also, those projects, when they are delivered, they also enable you to do more as that physiotherapist. The thing is, anytime you optimize a process, the chance that you generate return goes higher because now you can do more with less. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope your question was answered, Mrs. Abimbola. Okay, we have another question. As regards content creation, just the way, sorry, how do we go about it? So that's what she asked.
So I won't say directly that this session is about content creation, but again, when it comes to content creation, there are tools that enable you to do it more efficiently. Software development is an avenue you can use in creating that tool. Is either you research the tool if they exist, or research the requirement for the tool if you desire to build it. I used to say that having a problem you want to solve in front of you is a very good way to get into tech. So if you get into tech today with a problem in mind, and you keep on eating at that problem, maybe with 2 hours of work every day, you are learning something to solve that problem for yourself. One thing is sure, you are not the only person experiencing that problem within the space wherein you operate. As a content creator, there are many other people, that are doing content creation. And the moment you're able to solve that problem and it works efficiently for you, the next thing is to commercialize it and scale. other people are also interested. And there's this thing that will always, be a roadblock to many people that are developing, which is, the aspect of managing the subscription of people that, or that's onboarding people and helping them subscribe to your services through the software that you have built. So as a content creator, you can build tools that enable yourself do better as a content creator, and at the end of the day you can commercialize that too. There are so many things involved in this. I just really hope that you follow through, because these are really good questions, and I think you should follow through in picking up knowledge to skill up, and also follow through in actually building the things that you need to be efficient while doing whatever it is that you do, as far as even content creation is. Thank you.
Okay, I think that will be the end of the session. There's no question anymore. All right, so I would like to appreciate everyone that was present here in this meeting. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, Mr. Tomiwo. Thank you for the session. And I would also love to ask us to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We can get this session live. It was recorded live on YouTube. So if you want to revisit it, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and get that from there. I dropped that in the chat box, so you can get the link from there. So have a nice day, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so I'll end the meeting now.